Our next author has appeared on our show many times and has, as always, insisted that I mention his two appearances on NBC's Last Comic Standing. I want to express, this is true. You can look it up. They're viewable online. Tonight, he will once again read from his forthcoming work, Mustaches and Shades, the Jasper T. Colbaire story. Please welcome Jasper T. Colbaire.
What's up, motherfuckers? Y'all like books? I've been coming on this show since the very first one they did here, and I've probably written at least 7 chapters of this book, and I'm pretty sure Dana's been keeping track of them, so I don't know what order they've been in, but once we get them all, then I think the book's going to come out. Maybe we'll do like you can buy an advance copy that just has like coming soon in the chapters I haven't written yet. Let's do this shit. This one is, we're going to call this chapter 18, and it's called Return of the Dragon. It had been 3 months since that night in Kansas City when I'd lost my sight. I learned much in that time I'd spent living in Master Yoshi's basement. He had become my friend. He'd become my mentor. He'd become my sensei. And I was also fucking his hot-ass daughter. She was in love with me. I was in love with getting my dick wet. My sight had returned once I learned that only through truly seeing myself could I once again learn to see the world. I looked deep into my own soul, and what I saw was fucking awesome. I'd been laying low, posing as a bicycle flower delivery boy, and going by the assumed name of Dat Young Dong. I'd become accustomed to this new life of peace in Korea. I thought for once this traveling human weapon might be able to rest. I was wrong. The Yakuza still sought revenge for the terrible embarrassment I had caused upon their leader and the horrible disfigurement of his balls. It was a quiet afternoon when I returned to Master Yoshi's flower shop that served as a front for his world-renowned secret dojo. I knew something wasn't right. I found Master Yoshi behind the counter. He was dead. It took me only a minute to realize what had happened. His teacup was shattered, and there was no sign of struggle. Master Yoshi was a bad motherfucker, so I knew it had to be some bitch shit to kill him. Poison, the coward's brass knuckles. Quick as fuck, I scanned the room for clues, but the assassins were good. Probably ninjas. I twisted the head of the statue to open the secret door to the dojo and was not surprised that it had been totally ransacked. All of Master Yoshi's cool-ass katanas and nunchucks had been taken, and his rice paper doors were shredded. All that was left was a note addressed to the White Dragon, me. Because that's what they called me when I was pro wrestling in Japan. It said, "We have taken Master Yoshi's daughter. If you want to see her again, you will come to Hong Kong. You have 3 days." I spent the next 2 weeks drinking sake in a downward spiral. Then the second note came. It said, "Hey man, we're serious. We're gonna kill this chick. Come to Hong Kong." I'd successfully put myself in the advantageous position and showed them I wasn't their bitch. It was time to go to Hong Kong to face my past. My flight landed, and the chauffeur in a Lone Ranger mask took me to the underground bunker. He had blindfolded me, but didn't realize from the time I spent as a blind man had heightened my other senses, and I would be sure to smell my way home if necessary. The ballless Yakuza leader had them tie me to a chair and beat me savagely, but I could not be broken. He said in order to rescue Master Yoshi's daughter, avenge my sensei, and squash our beef, the White Dragon had to soar again. An elite group of billionaires wanted to watch me compete in a deadly tournament. If I won, I would be free. They set up 7 levels of challenges, each more progressively dangerous than the last. 7, each engineered to challenge my body, others my mind, a few my soul, a couple others my body again, but different parts, and finally, my heart. I advanced through each of their custom-built adversities too easily to bother with details here. The Yakuza leader was pissed. He'd wanted to see me dead. When it was time to return Master Yoshi's daughter to me, he double-crossed me. Just as she came across the room, he shot her dead with his bow and arrow. He'd broken our contract, and I was now free to kick the shit out of him and his goons. I moved like a cat, disarming dudes with Uzis and dodging throwing stars. One guy swung a katana right by my face, and I leaned back like this, just chipped off the top of my mustache. Then I dropped down and did one of those spin leg sweep things, and the guy fell down right on top of his sword, dead as fuck. By the time I made it to the Yakuza leader, I was kinda hurt. I had 3 big-ass scratches across my chest, an arrow in my shoulder, and a little trickle of blood coming down from my nose. He backed up to the wall like a bitch. "Please, you already destroyed my balls. What more can you take from me?" I smiled slyly. "Still got a dick, don't you?" I ripped his pecker off and blood squirted everywhere, and he died, a dickless piece of shit loser. I held Master Yoshi's daughter in my arms as she gasped for her last breaths. Then her spirit got up and went and joined her ghost father, and they walked off into the spirit world as they waved goodbye to me. Slowly, the billionaires that was watching began to clap and cheer. "White Dragon! White Dragon! White Dragon!" I smiled at them. Then I pulled one of the Uzis out from behind my back and unloaded on them motherfuckers. As the smoke cleared, I walked out of the bunker. Dat Young Dong was no more. The White Dragon had flown for the last time. It was time for Jasper T. Colbaire to go home.